What's going on, everybody? Today's video is Monster Hunter Stories. This is going to be the review for it. First thing I'll start out by saying is that the game is essentially Monster Hunter, but the combat is different. You gather stuff, you get parts from the monsters to make stuff. The stuff you gather, you can combine to make other stuff. But it's got turn-based combat and an RPG system where you level up. Another thing that's different is the way the armor and weapons are done. Like say when you fight a monster and get some of its parts, it'll unlock a Forge Quest part. And some enemies will have like an armor set or a weapon set. Or some of them might have one or the other, and some of them have both. And basically the way it works is, whenever you have enough parts, it'll say turn in instead of accepted, and you just click on it, and then instead of having to have whatever to make it, you have, like in this one's case, what is it? It's 8 points. So the skill plus gives 1 point, those give 3 points, and the Breathless Ruby gives 10. So all you gotta do is just come up with 8 points, and have the money for it, and that'll make it. Same goes for the weapons. And in this one's case, so it's showing the reward is 2 weapons. Same thing. See, it's only 10 points, but it'll make both of the weapons. You'll get both of the weapons, which is pretty cool. Other than that, it's still very Monster Hunter-ish. Like I said, the only difference is really is this, and that the combat is turn-based. That's really about it. As far as stuff to do, it's a reasonably long game. I think I was high 40s, maybe low 50s when I beat the game. Your monsters, they level up faster than you, so I think the Rathalos, at a certain point in the story you get a Rathalos, then you can fly. And he starts off at like level 20, I think, which is about what level you are when you get him. That's what I was. And he was probably mid to high 50s whenever I beat the game. Once you beat the game, it unlocks high rank. Everything is still the same. All the enemies are still low rank. But you'll be able to run into high rank enemies, and you'll have high rank dens, which I'll get into in just a second. I'll show you some of those. This is the expedition. Right now I've got them, I think they're just, I don't know what I have them doing. You can choose location, obviously. Each one's got whatever star rating, and you unlock them as you get further along in the story. And he set a goal, like do this one's treasure hunt, where they hunt for rare items. That one makes them focus on getting bones, bugs, fish, or berries, mushrooms, plants, items, gain experience. This one makes it where it takes, like in this one's case, it's half the time, but they get less stuff. This one takes longer, but they get more stuff. And then normal is, well, normal. Monsters is basically you just choose whatever monsters you want to go out on the expedition. Another thing, while we're here, this is your egg cart. I don't have any eggs, so I can't hatch any. You also get egg fragments that you, as you see, you piece them together, and once you get all the pieces, you'll get an egg that'll have just a random monster in it. So I think if you make it a point to make sure all the stuff matches, you have a better chance of getting a specific type of monster. But I don't know that, because I've never actually made one that matched. I just used what I could find. Like, see, this one is all the same pieces, because I was going to try and see if it would make a difference. This is what I got, but I don't know. As far as your monster, you can release monsters. I don't know how many you can actually hold altogether, but it's not worth releasing them unless you just don't want to have them, because there's a rite of channeling. See, each monster has a little grid of genes And if you do write a channeling, you'll choose the monster you want, and then basically you're gonna sacrifice the other monster that you use. But in this one's case, you can't just put the genes where you want them. Like in his case, he's got one in the middle and one at the bottom. The Rathalos does. That's empty. So I would want to have. Well, I got none right here. Oh well. But whatever you choose, it's going to go in that same spot. An alternative is ritual items, which is another way of getting. Like, see, the stimulants will unlock blocks because they don't always have all 9 unlocked. I'm not unlocking an additional one, and there's one for each type of monster. But they all do different things. I see this one's tenacity, defense up, dragon aura, dragon attack up, dragon resistance up, and these you can put wherever you want to. But the catch to it is you can only use 2 of them per monster. That's where the channeling comes in, where you can actually get all the slots filled out. Another thing to talk about is the prayer pot. But yeah, you can pray, and each one increases the experience gained up to I think it's 20% bonus. But if you do the last one and pay the 10,000 zenny, you get 20% extra experience plus 15% attack up. Or you can use the offerings and use these and just choose which. Like, see, this one I think is I know that the Training Charm Plus gives you what I've got right now, the 200% experience bonus. I think the regular one is the regular Training Charm is 150%. Tracking Charms increases the chance of rare monsters. This one's rare dens, slightly better items, kinship gauge fills faster, selling price, defense, makes shop prices go down. This one's the same thing, it's only 15% attack increase, makes you get better items from battle, and then this one makes you regain HP during battle. And they're only for 30 minutes a piece. It doesn't seem like a lot of time, but the thing is, the game, the timer doesn't run when you're in the menus or when you're in battle. I'm just gonna give you an example so you can see. When you beat the game, not only do you unlock high rank, but you also unlock optional areas. Like this tower I'm in, it has 50 floors, but you can go to the Tower of Recollection, and what you do in it is you'll fight all the monsters. Each floor will have a monster from the story, a monster boss that you fought from the story, but it'll be a high rank version instead of the one from the story. I mean, it's still the same monster, but it'll be a high rank version. And this one is similar to the arenas in that you fight riders instead of just going through whatever. These are caravan stands. This is how you fast travel around. And this is how you save. I'll save because I haven't saved in a while. I have bad stick drift. That's why it keeps scrolling up on me. I need a new controller, but I don't have 80 bucks to throw down on that, so I just have to deal with it. Anyway, this is also the best way of leveling up. I'll show you. To give you an idea of about the charm time, I beat these monsters here and checked the time, and it was at 5 minutes and 33 seconds remaining. I went through the next 4 floors, got to the 5th floor, beat it, opened the chest after the fight, and let it pop up on the screen. Then I checked the time again, and it only been 33 seconds had passed, and I cleared 4 floors. Anyway, the way that the battle works is each monster has a certain tendency as to what they like to use. Power, technical, or speed, and it works basically like rock, paper, scissors. Power beats technical, technical beats speed, speed beats power. And usually, say if a monster's power tendency, it'll use power attacks more often, and it'll also use technical attacks because speed beats power, so they use technical to offset, so they can catch you in a weakness. Very rarely do you see one that's got opposite, which even then it still be covering their weaknesses. But they can use all three types of attacks, but it's really rare. But the thing is about it is, in high rank, they still have the same tendencies, but they don't really rely on it so much. Like in low rank, they usually have a pattern to them. Like they'll do, like, say it's a power tendency, they'll do power twice and then do technical the third time, or use skills in between. But usually they'll have a pattern, 2 power, 1 technical, 2 power, 1 technical. But when they get to high rank, some of them will still follow the pattern, but most of the time it's a little bit different. But they'll still have a pattern to them. It's just slightly different. Yeah, I got 999 robbing. Anyway, from right here onward, it counted down 33 seconds on that timer. Like I said, 30 minutes doesn't seem like a long time, but if you don't ask around and you just run straight through here, you can. I think I'm working on leveling up my Kushala Daora and my Teostra, and I've probably been here 2 hours on the same 30-minute thing. But anyway, you have the rock paper scissors system, and then like skills will some skills might be power or technical or speed affected, but most of them are neutral, so they won't have a plus side or a downside to it. There's a particular thing about the combat I'm going to show, but I have to get to, I think it's the next battle. Yeah, I'll be able to show it with him. That's the other reason I wanted to show this, because it gives me a better shot at showing how the combat works. So he's a speed tendency, so you'd want to use technical. And see the red line? That means he's going to attack me, and we'll get what's called a head-to-head. So he did speed, so I'm going to win and get extra kinship. I still took damage, but it's a little bit less than what it would have been. Whereas if he'd have won, I'd have taken a little bit more damage. Which another thing, if I do a technical attack and then my monster also, like, see the 1,000 blades he's doing is a technical attack, but it doesn't count because it's not the same attack. But if he did a technical attack also, when I did one, and the monster was using speed, which is what technical is strong to, instead of doing a regular attack, it's going to do what's called a double attack, and it'll do extra damage. And whenever that happens, you don't take any damage from their attack. It kind of cancels out their attack. And another thing is, whenever you win the head-to-heads, you get more kinship points, which is what you use to make skills. A cool thing is that if, like, see, my monster's using 1,000 blades, well, that costs, like, I think 25 or 30 kinship points to use. But if the monster uses it themselves, it doesn't use the kinship points. Whereas if I go to the monster set and choose that skill, it's going to use the points, which is another cool thing. Another thing is if you win a head-to-head 3 times in a row, it'll knock the monster down. But the flip side is also true. If you lose 3 times in a row, it'll knock you down. If you're riding on your monster, so he just hit power, so I'm going to lose this one, and it's going to reset the counter. But if he hits you, if he wins, the monster wins 3 against you, you'll fall down. But if you're riding your monster and you lose 3 times, it automatically kicks you off the monster, which sucks. Also, I haven't really figured out what the format is for the life, because like there's been times where my monster only had, like, say 100 life, yeah, and then I rode them and they have like 180 or whatever. Like if they have full health, it'll be more than what their full health is, but I'm not real sure what that number, like what the increase is based on. I don't know what the hell the deal is with that. Another thing, if you notice in the corner, there's a picture of the touchpad. You can change the speed of battle. I'm gonna set it to 1 so you can see a kinship skill. If you set it to 3, it'll skip them. It won't show it at all. And it's so fast you can't even tell how much damage you did early. The kinship skills are nice. Another thing is your kinship stone has a level attached to it whenever you're riding your monster, and basically it's the level of your kinship skill. Every time you win a head-to-head, the level will increase on it up to 3. The higher the level, the more damage it does. Another thing, most of the time, if you do a kinship skill and you go first, the monster you're fighting will not get a turn. So there's that, which is pretty cool. Anyway, the reason this is the best way to gain experience is because of the next fight. These guys right here, these felines, the great barrel felines, they give like 50,000 experience. The high rank ones give 50,000 experience if you don't have any experience boost. The catch to them is they run like a metal slime on Dragon Quest. They run the first chance they get, which is why I use Sergios, because it's a lot faster. Ever since I've been having him with me fighting him, I've never had the cats go first. But another thing you want to do is use big barrel bombs, because I don't know how much life they have, but I know it's less than 200. If you use a big barrel bomb and you use it, it's guaranteed to kill them. It don't matter if it's low rank or high rank, it's gonna kill them, which will get you that nice experience boost. And since I've got the 200% experience boost, I'm gonna get a chunk of experience. See, 150,000. Another thing, I don't think the game tells you about it, but whenever you're on the map, you can press L1 and it'll auto heal you with but you have to have certain items. I'll show you. There's these donuts you can buy. They only heal you for like 50 HP or some shit, and they're relatively cheap to buy. Another thing about this, before I get sidetracked with what I was talking about this tower is the first enemy you fight on the second floor, there's a chest that has 3 mega potions in it. The next floor has a surrogate gem, and then the next floor has 2 life powders, and then this one has a time-worn page in it, which if you have the charm to increase how much your stuff sells for, you'll get like 3,000 zenny for it or something, and they're there every time you do the tower. Every time you restart it, it resets. This is the village you start off in. I'm trying to see, I don't know if they've got the donuts or not. Let me see. Hell no. Like I showed you. Most places sell them, but there's all kinds of different donuts, but they're all the exact same as far as what they do. They heal you for 50 HP. There they are. I keep a bunch of them. As you see, I've got 170 of them. They heal you for 50. But you just hit L1 and it'll automatically heal you. It'll use those to heal you. So, like I said, they're pretty cheap. So just keep a bunch of them on you. That way you can heal. Hot Mist is basically like the hot drinks on normal Monster Hunter. Keeps you from getting frostbite, because basically if you get in a fight in a cold area, it doesn't always take effect. It usually only takes effect when you really need it to not to. Or at least that's my luck. But basically you'll lose a turn, and that can apply to you and your monster. Then Cool Mist is for the volcano area. Instead of losing a turn, you take damage. And I don't know if that does it every turn or not. I'm not sure. I don't know if it does it every turn or not, like a burn status, but I haven't really paid attention to it. Another thing to talk about is the Moxie gems and the Surrogate gems. See, there's you see the 3 hearts. Well, in true Monster Hunter fashion, you can cart twice. Third time is a game over. Well, it's not really a game over. Instead of getting a game over, it just sets you back either at the beginning of the room or in the end of the room prior to where you're at if it's a boss. And when you're in battle, if you or your monster dies, you'll lose a heart, but you'll come back with full health, both you and your monster. So there's these items. Let me show them to you real quick, then I'll go talk about those. Where they at? There they are. The Vital Essence will restore 1 heart, and the Ancient Potion will fully heal you and restore a heart. But you can only use one of those, one of each, in battle. So the most you can do is restore 2 hearts. The problem is, motherfuckers like Teostra or Fatalist. Teostra has his Supernova move, and it will do a guaranteed 999 damage to both you and your monster, which means if you have less than 3 hearts, you just lost. Way to get around that is either the Moxie gems, which prevents the loss of a heart, and then a Surrogate gem nullifies all damage 1 time. And for those, you can have 3 in battle, and the Moxie gem you can't use but once. But that's a way of keeping you from game over. So that's kind of like a workaround for the Supernova move. And then Fatalist has a move he can do that will also do 999 damage to both of you, motherfuckers. Another thing is your crafting. When you start off, hold on, let me go to where they at? Here they are. You have to do quests to get the Book of Combos, and some Book of Combos teach you 2 or 3 things, but then there's some, like see the Mega Potion, all it teaches you is how to make Mega Potions, and there are a bunch of them. See, all these. I'm missing 1, and if I want to get the Platinum, I'm probably gonna have to start a new game because the game is glitched up and won't let me get the quest that gives me the last book I need. Motherfuckers. Anyway, this is your combining. It's just like regular Monster Hunter. And matter of fact, most of the combinations are the same too. And you see I have a whole bunch of Mega Potions, but that's because of I've been farming experience in that tower I just showed you. And like I said, the first battle on the 2nd floor, the chest after it gives you 3 Mega Potions, and since I never use Mega Potions in there, the only thing I use is periodically I'll hit L1 to heal with the donuts automatically. So I'm not using the Mega Potions, so I've got quite the collection of them. Dust of Life is one of the last ones you'll get, one of the last books you'll get, and it heals you and your monster for 300 HP, which is nice. The Life Suit does 50 to both of you, Life Powder is 100 to both of you, and Dust of Life is 300. Ancient Potions fully heal you, Max Potions fully heal you. Ancient Potions will also restore a heart. Paintballs. The thing about the paintballs is, say there's a particular monster that you want the egg for, because that's how you get your monsters. You go in a monster den, which I'll show you those in just a second. You go in a den, and when you make it to the end of it, you'll be at the nest. Sometimes you have to fight something, sometimes you won't. Usually if you don't fight something, you can pick 3 eggs. You can pick 1, if you don't like it, search for another one, then there's only 3. Usually though, if there's no monster in there, after the first egg, a monster is going to show up. The cool thing is, when you get attacked and you get in a fight, after you win the fight, you don't drop the egg, you'll still have the egg. All you have to do is exit out the first screen where the nest is at, and it'll, give it to you. Anyway, but there's a particular monster that you want the that you want an egg for, which some of them you can't do, like Teostra and Kushala. Like those, the paintball trick don't work on. But typically, what you would do is get in a fight with a monster. When their life gets low, hit them with a paintball. It'll last for 3 turns, and what it does is it increases the odds of the monster retreating. You don't have to use a paintball to get them to retreat, but it increases the odds of it happening. But what happens when they retreat is a den will show up on the map, and it'll be that monster's den. And when you go in there, usually that monster you fought will be asleep on top of the nest. You can pick up an egg, and the first egg you pick up 95% of the time is going to be that monster, because that's the monster's den. So they're useful if you want to get a specific monster. Another thing is, let's see, I think there was something else on here I was going to show. Oh yeah, the traps. The traps on here, let me see. Pitfall traps are speed, shock is power, and trank is technical. So basically, say you were fighting a monster with speed tendency. Well, you could put out a pitfall trap, and if it uses a speed attack, it loses it gets trapped for 2 turns. And then shock trap is if they use a power attack, and trank is technical. I don't really use them that much, because it seems like in high rank the monsters have like a decent chance of just evading the fucking thing, even if they use the attack that you put down. Just fucking weird, but whatever. Let me see. Also, the eggs, because I don't have any of them. The eggs have patterns to them, and the thing about the patterns is, let me get out here so I can show you what the dens look like. Each egg will have a specific pattern to it for, well, how about this? Different types of monsters, their eggs will look the same. Like the Elder Dragon eggs, all those will have a star type pattern on the front side of the egg that's facing out when you're holding it, and they'll be different color. Like the Chiron's is white and blue, whereas an Orochi Chiron's is blue and white. A Teostra's is like red, like 2 different shades of red, I think, and then a Kushala's is like a dark brown and like a weird rust color or some shit. But they all have that same star pattern to them. Let me get off my thing. As you see, he runs to one of the reasons you want to stay on your monster because of this. You see the animations, and he runs really fucking slow. Whereas the monster runs, and it depends on what monster. These are high rank dens. The red ones are. This one over here is just a standard den. And then if they're gold, they're rare dens. I don't see any gold ones. Anyway, each of your monsters has map skills, like the Rathalos and then like Zergos. They can fly. And then like the Tigrex, all the different Tigrex ones, and I think the Kongalalas as well, they can climb vines. I don't see any vines anywhere to show you what I'm talking about, but they can climb vines. And then like the Royal Ludroths and those like that, they can swim, so you can just like go to the edge of the water. That's why you see sparkling stuff in the water. You can swim out there and pick it up. And then like Glavenus can break rocks, but like a Brachiodos can break I don't know what they're called, Mega Rock or some shit. Like one of them's called Rock Break skill, and then like the Brachiodos is called Mega Rock Break or some shit, like Mega Breaker or some shit like that. But each of the monsters has their own. There's some vines over there. Each monster has its own thing. Like I like using the Brachiodos because his roar can scare away monsters. So like say if you're wanting to just run through an area and not have to fight anything, you get a monster that has roar, and just use it, and the monsters will run from you, and you don't have to worry about it. As far as the fastest way of getting around, I think that either the Diablos, it seems like the Diablos is about the fastest as far as running. The Tigrex and the Gypsros, they have a dash skill that makes them run pretty fast. But the problem with it is, like normally if you're going through your land bastard. Like say if I wanted to, see, you can gather stuff when you're on your monster, and it doesn't have the animation. You just pick it up and keep controlling. But if you use the dash ability with Tigrex, you can't. For one, it's hard as fuck to steer them. Like, he just wants to go straight, and like you can hold left or right, and then he'll gradually veer to the left or right, but it's not like this. it's just like this, if that much. But you can't harvest stuff as well while you're doing it. I think all the people I have can fly. Teostra can dive in lava, because there's some areas in the volcano that's got lava, and if you have a Uragon or like Teostra, you can have them swim in the lava to get stuff, which is pretty cool. This isn't my normal party. My normal party is like a Brachiodos and some other shit. I was just leveling up stuff, and I didn't want to have. That's why I got the molten Tigrex with me, because I didn't want to waste the experience on just some level 99s. So that was that. But yeah, like the rare dens will be gold, and like the thing is, if it's a rare high rank den, it'll be the same gold. It won't even be a different shade of gold. It'll be the same gold. Let's see. You don't wrap him out. But yeah, there's a Roshi Kyron. He'll jump. There'll be some areas that have these little like rock circles on the ground that have like little Velociprey footprints on them. You can go to those and jump from there to another platform. And there's several monsters that do that. Like Kyron does it, Zinogre does it, the Velociprey, all the different prey do. The Velocidrome, Gendrome, I think the Idrome does it too. I'm not sure about the baggies. I think they do it too though. And then there's also like the Diablos. It has a ground dive where like there'll be spots on the ground that looks kind of like a hole, like a rough patch, with a little dip in it. You can use the Diablos to dig in those, and like you'll pop up in a new area, which is pretty cool. Which the thing is, once you get the Rathalos and are able to fly, it actually negates needing to have a Diablos to dig in those places, because most of them you can fly to. Let's see. Another thing is let's see, where is he at? Where'd he go? See, the Aptonoth has plant search, so if you hit circle, he'll roar, and then all the plants will show up on the map. And then, like, say you've got, see, this one's got monster search, which is the same thing. You'll roar, and it'll show you all the monsters on the map. Rathian nest search, it'll show you dens and nests on the map. The cool thing is that if you have, yeah, this one's ore and bone search. If you have, say, Ruby, Basarios, Bluey, and the Aptonoth all in your party, well, if you use a roar with one of them, if you have the other ones in your party, it will do their roar. It'll do their ability too, so it'll show you all the stuff for each one you have in your party, instead of just the one. Really, I got 2 Brachiodeos. I didn't know that. There's actually a good selection of enemies on this game. I think there's like 108 monsters you can get on this game, or 107, something like that you can get. Oh yeah, I'll do the Orochi Kyron. He has such low fucking life. He only got 416 life at level 99. Everything else is like over 600. Except for his. This is like 531. One thing you want to do, you want to try and keep at least one of each tendency. Yeah, try and keep at least one of each tendency. Another thing, your quests on the quest board, yeah, all the quests are repeatable. The only ones that aren't repeatable is when you're going through the towns, occasionally you'll see people with like a blue exclamation point, a blue square with a black exclamation point above their head. They give you quests. And the fucked up thing about that is, they're in your quest list, so if you know the name of it, you can find it, but that's it. It doesn't tell you shit else about it. And anything you get from the quest board, you turn back into the quest board. But if it's from a person, you have to turn it into that person. Luckily, when you complete it, they'll have a white box above their head with a black exclamation point letting you know that you can turn it in then. So that's pretty cool. And all of them are repeatable except for the people ones. The ones you get from people. The character quests or whatever. One thing you want to keep. Let me see. God damn it. That's where that scrolling pisses me off. Like for the quick leveling up thing I was doing, the way you can do it is like say once you get the barrel feline beat, you get the experience. That, by the way, they show up every 5 floors, like on the 5th floor, the 15th floor, the 25th floor, 35th, so on and so forth, is always one of those cats. And all you can do is go back to the 1st floor and go back up. The way I do it is I just I'll beat the cat and then use a paw pass ticket and warp to the 1st floor and then just go back through it. Because every 10 floors is another catavan stand, so you mark your stuff. So as long as you can clear each 10 floors, you won't have to play back through it again, which is nice. But you can buy the Paw Pass tickets from Albarax, I think, or whatever the fuck the name of the place is. You can buy those there, and you also get them from Quest too, which is nice. One thing. Trying to think of the best way to do it. I had it happen, but I didn't say nothing about it. Let me go back here so I can show you what I'm talking about. But while we're waiting on this to load, when you're fighting a Tigrex, or if you're using a Tigrex, they have a skill called dash combo. And it's really not that powerful at first, but every time they use it, if they use it back to back, and you don't win a head-to-head on them, it increases in damage. After about the 3rd time, it will one-shot you. The only way to get around it is to, when they use it, if you win a head-to-head, that'll reset it, or if they use another skill between it. But the thing is, they usually don't. They're pretty fond of using the fucking combo attack. Or dash combo, or whatever the fuck it's called. They're pretty fond of doing that. So yeah, you definitely pay attention to what they're doing, because if you're not paying attention, they'll start one-shotting you with those things. Because I think it doesn't take like maybe the 3rd or 4th time, and it'll be one-shotting you. Get you the Velociraptor. The reason I came here to talk on one of the things that I haven't mentioned that I need to is about the combat. Just because I don't really know where a high rank enemy would be that would be easy to show what I'm talking about too. Actually, I don't know that he's gonna do it. Just thought about that. He may not do it. We'll see though. Whenever you're fighting in a battle, and this is the very reason why you don't want to put the controller down while you're fighting, even though it is turn-based. There's still some things that can happen see if I can get it to trigger. They're like mini games. Yeah, it might do it now since he's attacking the power. I might give him a deal. Fuck, he didn't do it. This is a double attack. There it goes. There's 3 of these. There's the one you tap X. And that's, like I said, that's why you don't want to put the controller down, because it might pop up and do that and you get your ass whooped. If you win them, you take no damage. And there's like no guaranteed way to get those little things to happen. They just happen. But there's 3 different ones. There's one where you mash X where they charge at each other. And then there's another one where they fire a beam at each other. And you have to rotate the right analog stick. And then there's another one where they fly. If it's both of them are flying weapons, where they'll fly. And with that one, you have to tap L1 and R1, alternate back and forth between those to win it. So yeah, you definitely have to be careful and pay attention. Don't lay your controller down or walk off or something while you're fighting, because that can happen. Unless you know you're gonna kill something that turn. See, I only got 50,000 experience with them because I ain't get the bonus anymore. But this is definitely the best way to level up. You can't do it until after you beat the game, because the tower doesn't unlock until then. But here we go. Like I said, I think I was in the high 40s or low 50s. Well, my rider's rank level was that. I think my Rathalos. God damn it! I want to talk to you. My Rathalos was probably mid to high 50s, and I don't know what my other monsters were. I do know that once you get the Rathalos, you can't remove him from your party until you beat the game, and then you can remove him. Anyway, here's the this is the arena. There's different tournaments, and then there's special tournaments that you can do stuff in. And what they are is basically you have it's you against a rider and their monster. Your character cannot target the rider, but you can target the rider with your monster. The best thing to do is just let your monster do their thing, and I use focus to increase the damage of my attacks, and either focus on eliminating the monster, and it's the same rules apply with the 3 hearts. You have to down them 3 times basically. Yeah, this is the guys that have Pop Fest tickets, and there's the donuts. Anyway, I guess to top it off, since it is a review, I'll tell you what I think about the game. I absolutely have enjoyed it. It's been really fun. The turn-based combat is nice, because you don't really see turn-based combat that much anymore. You can't really fault the graphics for not looking as good as World, because the game was originally on the 3DS. So, I mean, you know, what can you do? I think it looks good. Most important thing is, though, that the game is fun. That's the kicker. Anyway, that's all I got. If y'all would, like and subscribe. Appreciate y'all watching. Y'all take it easy. Have a good one.